I think we're good. So this is the first time I've ever done anything like this on YouTube before. I think it's the first time for all of us, really. If you don't know me, my name is Will. You've probably either been on my YouTube channel before for Minecraft or for that one travel vlog that got over 100 views, I'm pretty sure. But other than that, yeah, my name is Will, and this is my YouTube channel. I'm joined today with some friends, and we're just going to be kind of talking about stuff in general, like how we met and kind of our friendship throughout the years. So yeah, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, who wants to start?
I'll start. I'm Andrew, and I met most of these dudes. Like, I met Will in 6th grade, and like I've known him here the longest. And then I met Paul and Miggy in like freshman year, and like we've been cool ever since.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right. So my name is Paul, and I met Andrew and Miggy freshman year, and through Andrew, I think that was like last year or something. That's how I met Will, and ever since we just had that bond.
Yeah. Okay. So my name's Miggy, and I basically, I didn't know any of these dudes before high school, and then I met Andrew and Paul freshman year of high school, and then I met Will, around sophomore year, and I met him through Andrew. But like we just known each other. Like we didn't really talk, but like we started talking, like when he came into my Spanish class. So like we started getting closer and stuff like that. That's how I met Will, and we got close like that. So yeah.
Good. All right, so let's hop in. Paul and I were able to just kind of ramble and come up with some questions that we could do for this video. So let's start with I guess kind of how did everybody meet? Like we know that like the years and all that, but like how did everybody meet each other?
Does anyone want to start?
I guess most of you guys met each other like through me. Like I don't want to sound like I'm like here or anything, but like I know for a fact I met Will in 6th grade with Miss Schwarzenegger's as our homeroom, and like we've just been like doing everything together after that. Like I remember going to outdoor school with him. Like we actually before that we actually ran track against each other in the same heat and the same leg in 4th grade. I don't remember who like was on top or who was faster. It's kind of irrelevant now because we're both pretty like,
We were very equal. It was kind of weird.
Pretty much. But yeah, we've been like, I don't know. There was that, and then like outdoor school. We've basically been hanging out like consistently, but like we like low-key-ish, not really like grew apart like when high school came around, but we still like talked like decent amount. But like we've always been close because of the boys. And we were doing shit. Yeah. Miggy, I met in Miss Draper's biology
class.
That was crazy. That was funny. There's so many people in that class who like I feel like became like either really popular or like fell off really hard.
That's true.
I'm just glad I met Miggy. He was cool. Earl too. I met Earl.
Shout out Earl.
Yeah, shout out to Earl wherever he's at. Hopefully he watches it. Make him sound like he's dead, bro. And yeah, we've been homies ever since freshman year. Like we've always been cool with each other, and we've always had like mutual friends and stuff. He's introduced me to a couple friends and that. And there's this guy Paul. We had English together in freshman year with Mr. Petro and Mr. Metal in his hip. God, he always like talking about that. But my class was kind of crazy. It was just me, you, and Brian, and like I don't know why, but I remember like Santiago was always going crazy in that class. Like,
That class was
but
with you
Yeah,
guys.
it's pretty funny how we all like met and became friends and like, introduced each other to each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
takes us back quite a bit.
yeah.
Did you guys want to weigh in on that at all? It's like,
Yeah, like for me and Andrew, it's funny because like I didn't have any friends when I first came, like freshman year. So I would like sit by myself, and then we started talking. And he was like, it was during homecoming week too. He was like, oh yeah, we should like hang out at lunch and like eat lunch together, you know. And so we kind of built from there, and we started talking and like and then every morning we'll like walk to like 700 Hall or anything. That's like our science hall, but that's where we started like talking. I started talking to Miggy and like the other guys, and kind of built from there. For Will, is that me and Andrew would always walk towards like in the quad, and so we like from time to time we would talk, but we weren't as close then like we're now. So,
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, basically, Andrew basically just said how I met him. It was through bio, and I didn't even know we had PE together too. So
Oh, yeah.
like it helped a lot because we had 2 classes together, and he was like one of the only people that I really talked to in those classes. So we just became really close. And then I met Paul through him because I sat with him during lunch because I had nowhere to sit because I didn't really know anyone freshman year. And then like all the boys started coming together, and then I remember always seeing Will, but like I never really talked to him during freshman year. I just saw him like, oh, he knew, like him and Andrew have like long history together.
yeah,
And then it's like not until sophomore year where I like actually like started talking to him. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And then all the boys started coming together, and we made a little group, stuff like that.
that sounds pretty accurate. I like, for us, it's weird because I think in high school, like, people don't realize all the time that there's not like like formidable groups of like jocks and like cheerleaders or whatever and like nerds. Like for us, like it's a pretty diverse group. And
not
like,
a specific type of person.
yeah, there's no like real like
Majority.
there are stereotypes, but they're like, I guess it's different like in high school now than it was like earlier. I don't know if it was different earlier or not, but for us, it's always been like pretty like diverse and different, and I like that about our group. So then here's another question. They already kind of like get to see like how we like interact with each other and like kind of like how we met. If we were going to be roommates after high school, what would life be like, and how would it be different from our current like how we see each other now?
It'd be pretty messy.
Yeah.
Like knowing Paul in his locker, it'd be pretty messy.
Whoa.
Like I don't know how he is in his house, but that might be different.
I have a pretty clean room right now.
Cause like knowing me, I like to keep my room clean. So
Yeah, I do too.
I just reorganized it the other day. If you saw my
and I think we'd be pretty good on the cleaning part as roommates then. Like
Yeah.
we'll be pretty.
Who would be doing like which chores though?
I feel like I'll do most of the cooking. Not gonna lie. That's just a century I
Alex
like.
claims he could cook. I'm like yet to see anything.
Bro, I can cook. I'm telling you, bro.
All right, what's
That's my
what's your best dish that you can make?
Any dish.
Oh my god.
I'd say I'd just be like my mom loves to clean. I also like to clean food, so I guess I wouldn't say like the gender or something, but I'd be the one to like clean a lot, like make sure everything's organized and in check. I don't know. I don't really know the roles of like in roommates. So
You're like the dad of the group, sort of.
Well, he'd be the
Or
one
mom.
to make sure like we don't
Yeah.
kill each other. Really, I think there's like maturity there, because I feel like we'd fall apart very fast because we're only juniors in high school.
Yeah.
So speaking of high school, this is not one question that we had. This is just one that I thought of. But like making like for younger people that may or may not like watch this, because like I have a younger sibling. I know some of you guys have younger siblings too.
Yeah.
Maybe older.
Making that transition from middle school to high school, what was like the biggest like? What was kind of like the biggest? Oh, this is like reality now, or like this is like the biggest transition that I've had to make into high school.
Wow. I think there are a lot of things that like when you go from middle school to high school that like change a lot. Then I think like there's a lot of things that you understand about yourself as you go throughout the years.
Yeah.
Like personally, I didn't start to see myself changing like till like probably like start of sophomore year. Because freshman year is like it's more of like the foundation. It's like where do I find myself? Like what type of people do I want to hang out with? You may think to like you may seem to like this type of group, and at the end you're like, no, I want to hang out with this, and then that's when you start like building that foundation for, like throughout the year. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of things. Just try to find yourself. It's not that hard, but it takes some time to figure out like who you are as a person.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like when I started like going from middle school to high school, like the biggest change for me is like it's almost like you're not like forced to pick a friend group, but like there's one that like you'll probably want to stick to, because like if you try to be friends with everybody, like there's gonna be a lot of distant like relationships. Like you have quantity and quality, you gotta pick one or the other. And like nothing against people with big quantity, like it's cool to have a lot of friends, but like, you know, I just kind of like learned that like if I want to trust people, like I have to make my circle like smaller, you know. That was the biggest thing for me.
And that's okay too, because you can still have a lot of friends, but it's about like picking the people that you can like really stick with.
Yeah. I think that rings true like for most of us, but like for me, you know, it's like I don't like to make people like you know dislike me, right? Like that's never like the goal, I don't think, for anybody.
Right.
So I think sometimes there's like added pressure of like of you already being with one friend group and then maybe like leaving them on some days, and then like maybe they have like drama with each other, and and it all like kind of is like weighed down on you. So it's not like you're forced to pick a side, but in a way, without saying it, like both groups are making you kind of feel that way. So but I think I've only had to deal with that like a few times, and it wasn't with like groups, it was more with like individuals. So I'm pretty happy about the outcome for me.
The transition from middle school to high school, I don't know, like personally, like it was very, very scary for me, because like I'm coming from like a different school, and like I'm coming to a school where everyone knew each other, or like from middle school, like everyone knew each other, and like I'm just like that guy that just came in and like doesn't know. Like it was kind of scary, but like I turned out fine, you know, because I met really good people to help me, you know, get through high school, and then like now like I'm like pretty set with my friend groups. So I would just like, you know, like repeat what Paul said, like just basically find yourself, or like finding yourself and like who you are as a person, and like getting to be comfortable with yourself. So
yeah. So I mentioned that again, this is like just a thought of question, like you guys can, you know, ask them too. But I mentioned that we're all juniors in high school, and often this is thought of as the most I wouldn't say productive, but I guess like heavy workload year for students in high school. Would you guys say that's true so far? And do you expect anything from senior year like to change from junior year?
Wow.
You wanna go?
You want to take it? You can go.
I'll take it. Right. So like, yeah, I was expecting junior year to be the hardest year of my high school career, but like, you know, it is, you know, proving to be true. But, you know, due to this, like, you know, Corona, you know, basically our junior year is already over. So, yeah. And then what I'm expecting for senior year, I'm expecting it to be the best year of high school ever. Like, I'm expecting it to be, like, still, like academically learning stuff, but, like most of it is pretty fun. Like, making it the best year of high school. Basically making it a movie. So.
If there's anything, like, I've learned, like, from, like, my friends that are seniors, like a lot of them have told me, like, you know, based on whatever they did, like just make the most out of every opportunity you have, because like you only get to do high school once.
Yeah.
I just really want to, like, I mean, junior year I was pretty laid back, like I didn't really do a lot, and, like obviously I can't do too much right now because of, like, you know, coronavirus and stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to like Like when senior year comes around, I just want to
C'est
like,
juste un lettre. C'est juste un papier.
Ah, le signe des papiers.
beautiful.
Yeah, I'm good. Shoot, I think I check the mailbox.
Yeah, like I just want to do a lot more things like senior year. Senior year, I was just like stuck inside doing work and all that.
Yeah. I mean, first semester, it was quite challenging, but I mean, junior overall, it wasn't that bad, but like the workload was like there. It also depends on the class that you're taking.
Yeah.
That plays a huge role. But overall, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would have been. Like a lot of people said, like junior year is like the hardest year, like you're gonna die. Personally, I average like 4 hours of sleep every day. It's kind of bad, but I'm a huge procrastinator too, so I think that plays a role there. Senior, well, seniors, our last year in high school, things just making memories to like my friends and everyone else. Just make the most of it. We're not gonna have high school again. I don't regret any choices I made so far. I feel like you learn from the process, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's a learning experience.
Do you guys have any advice for people entering junior year?
Just be on top of your work. Literally, just be on top of your work. Don't procrastinate. Yeah, be on top of your work. Don't procrastinate, and don't overthink things. You know, it's not. You know, don't like we say that it's the hardest year, but really, if you're just on top of everything and you're doing good, like you have nothing to worry about. Like it's just another school year, but like
Yeah, I guess like to echo what you said about like overthinking. Like I did this a lot this year. Like you shouldn't be worried too much about like what other people say. You should really be more focused, like I guess, on yourself and setting goals for yourself that are realistic, but also that are a bit of a reach. Because when you do set those goals, it's really like nothing else matters, and that's kind of like your I guess like your like path to like success in a way. And if you can reach that, then the rest of high school is pretty much a breeze. So
adding on to what Will said about goals, I feel like as long as you have goals set throughout the course of junior or just high school in general, it's easy to actually like push yourself more because you want to achieve those goals. But if you don't have like goals set, it's easier for you to fall behind. Then it doesn't matter, even if like you're a procrastinator, that's fine. I am one too. But just try to like find your way around it. If you know like there's some things that you can't do, try to like find alternatives to like help yourself, you know.
Yeah.
What else? Going into junior, don't stress about it. I mean, it's stressful, but don't stress too much. Take time for yourself. Even if you have a lot of work, still take time for yourself. Make sure you're mentally prepared, physically, emotionally. Just people tend to like break down probably 3 months into junior. So I mean, probably all.
Yeah.
I think
So
y'all
have fun with it. Don't miss out on parties too. Just saying.
so wow.
I mean, not parties in general, but like just hang out with your friends too. Because some people are like, nah, I gotta study. Like, go have fun. It's fine.
Yeah. Y'all like pretty much like, you know, said everything like that had to be said, but like I don't know why this is like the first answer in my head when you said that question, because I knew like y'all were gonna try to come up with like some deep answer, but I was just gonna say like, just learn how to drive. Like I
Oh
know
my
yes.
Hey! Before we lose, where's my wallet at?
Oh my god. Anyway, learn how to do it like as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
It's so useful, and like I kind of regret not doing it earlier. Like now I can't go to the DMV because like, you know.
Yep, me too.
Yeah. Like,
Yep, me too.
We're all
it's
old.
a lifesaver.
One here that could drive, so
It's a lifesaver.
He's the guy that we mooch off of for rides.
he's never given me a ride before.
Bro, I'll get when we're done with this rides, bro. We're going everywhere.
So the next question is a bit like more like for us as individuals. What are some of our interests, and are we looking at any like possible like future like plans, like college and all that, and beyond college maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I started looking at colleges for sure. I already have like a set amount of colleges that I know I'm applying to during the fall. Probably like my top three right now is like Stanford, UW, and UC Davis. Major wise, I mean, like I'm like in my family, it's like a bunch of like it's either you're going to medicine, or you're going to law. It's like no in between, barely. But I'm planning on going as a pre-med major. Later on, I want to go to med school and become a surgeon at some point. Yeah, I mean, it's a long road, but
It is a long road.
that's just what interests me. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm not really sure what college I'm gonna go to. I haven't really thought about it yet, even though it is approaching. But I feel like there's gonna be a time for that. But because I'm like taking life right now, like I'm just riding its wave.
Yeah.
And for my profession, my family is big on like medical stuff, so I was thinking of getting into like nursing, just like my mom, because I honestly don't know what I can see myself doing in the future, if I'm being honest. So, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I get a good paying job.
Yeah. Andrew, you wanna?
I mean, for me, like, it's always been something like I thought, like, I don't think too much about it, but like, it gets me to the point where I'm just like, man, that's really not what I would do.
It's really coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know. There's, like, my family's talked a lot about what I'm gonna do after high school, and like, we think like, the JC route's a possible way, and I want to say like anything to like any upcoming juniors or like anyone who's in high school, like, don't be scared to do it. Like, obviously I'm not there yet and like to the point where I'm gonna do it, but like, I see like so many people like on Instagram or like any kind of social media talking about like, oh, I'm committed to like this college, whatever, like, especially now because like it's spring and like they're getting all their like admission letters, and that's like the one thing they have to brag about. But like, after that, like, what's gonna happen? Like, no one's ever gonna hear from you again after like you're done with all that. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I figured the JC route's a lot like cheaper, like way like a fraction of the price, like compared to going to like a UC or CSU.
Mhm.
And like, it's not even the fact that like I have bad grades. Like, I have like a 3.5, 3.8 right now, and like I'm doing fine in school. Like, that's like the least of my worries when I think about going to the JC. But like, I think like there's so many people that are like scared of doing it because they just want everyone to know that they went to like some big name college, and like that it's just really empty. Like, when you come to think about it, like, no one's gonna.
As long as you get your education.
Yeah, like, that's really
Yeah.
fun. But as far as like majors, I've thought a lot about becoming a psychologist.
Oh wow.
I just feel like that's where I do like the best in general. Like, just talking to people about
Yeah,
their
I can
problems,
definitely see that. Yeah.
like being there to listen and like give advice about it. Like, I'm not like one to say like I give really good advice, but like, I know my strength. A lot of my like personal strengths are in that area. And, I've studied out the career, and we'll just see how it goes. Like, I can't speak on what my future's gonna be, but I think that's something I'm definitely interested in.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see you doing that. I never thought about it like that before, but for me, I've always been, I guess, more interested in like the writing and like artistic side of education rather than like the math and like the sciencey field, which is a little weird because literally everybody in my family has gone into the math and science field. Both like my parents are biochemists, and like everybody on my mom's side of the family went to UC Davis, except for some of the kids. But yeah, it's always kind of been like, I guess not pressure, but it's always kind of like living up to like the expectation, like, oh, you gotta like go and major in bio something, like biochem or biotech, something like in the sciencey field. So I've been able to like I guess kind of separate myself from like that area in a way that has helped me like kind of find like where my interests are, and not worry about my grades too much, because if you are in high school, grades should be the least of your worries. I guess next to like friend drama or whatever, or like if you're a simp, then that shouldn't be any of your worries either. But finding your interests in high school is what's gonna make you successful down the line. Because if you like what you do, I don't think you have to love your job, because I know there's something about every job that just sucks. There has to be. But if you at least like your job and you're willing to put in the work to get that far, then you will be successful and you'll have an easy time after high school and after college. This is a good Paul question. 10 years from now, where do we see ourselves as individuals and us as a group?
Well, I'm hoping that we're all still friends in 10 years.
I would hope that too. Yeah.
I can probably just see us chilling at someone's house, probably drinking some beer, like watching something, playing something, probably playing or watching something.
10 years will be 27.
Probably someone with a kid, probably Trinidad.
I don't know. Would we be at a bar or a club?
We'd be in like someone's cave.
Someone's man cave, yeah. Actually,
build that.
Yeah, I can see that.
10 years, dude. That's a long time.
It's a very long time.
I honestly, to answer this question, I really don't know. I think all of our paths are so different, and we all have, I guess different interests and different goals and like accomplishments that like we hope to reach one day. And through it all, so far, we've been able to stay true to our friendship. And for me, I've always tried to put my friends before me, and make sure that that I'm giving my time to them as much as I'm giving time to myself, because valuable friendships are very important to me. So I just hope that that continues for us.
I'm pretty sure it will.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, probably.
It's crazy to think about. What will we even look like in 10 years?
Dead.
I'll probably have my hair's either gonna get really long or really short. That's my.
And you're gonna have a mullet in 10 years.
That'd be so bad.
10 years from now.
I just hope we're doing fine in 10 years.
Everybody's stable.
Yeah. No. Yes. I don't want one of the boys to be on the streets.
Oh, how about this? In high school, do you think it's better to have a really small but tight group of friends that you've known almost your whole life, or do you think it's better and that's the group that you primarily are staying with, and that nothing bad is gonna happen, or would you say that it's better to I guess have a relatively close group of friends, but also be able to branch out and walk around to different groups?
I think it's both are not bad, but I think it's important to branch out too, because once you go into the real world, it's more about interacting and connections, and I think that plays a huge role in as you as a person. So I think when you start branching out in high school, it's a great way to connect with more people, and it's surprising because you guys might have a lot of things in common, just you and your close friends.
Yeah.
And that brings you closer to people that you may not talk. You may think that, they're probably weird, but it's crazy that you guys have a lot of things in common.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Paul too.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
I was just about to say both options require a different kind of strength. Like one would be like being able to like maintain a good, stable, healthy like friendship, like while the other like, you know, gives you the strength of like being able to make new friendships. And like I feel like both are like, you know, almost equally as important. Like I kind of find myself like nearing towards the first option, of just like, you know, being able to, you know, keep yourself in like a good close group of friends, like where you know where you guys are at. There's no like, you know, throwing dirt at each other, and like I know a lot of people like that, and like where, you know, they like one person might think that their friendship is like, you know, good and clean, and like the other person is like talking about them like to some like other person.
Yeah,
I've been in the middle of that way too many times. I just like, I find myself placing like importance on like, you know, just having a really good, stable relationship with like a couple people. You know, that's really all I need.
Did anybody not interject? Maybe, did you?
No, I agree with like what Paul said, like with the branching out with other people. I don't know, like it is good to have. I feel like you can have both. Like you can have that one, because I feel like I have both.
Yeah.
'Cause I do have a tight group of friends, which is you guys, and then I also have another, you know, group of friends that I can also branch out into, and I'm really close to them too. So I feel like both is possible if, you know, you're with the right people, right? So.
Right. I would pretty much say I'm in like the same spot as you, Miggy. Like, I do have like the tight group of friends, like with you guys, and like, you know, a couple other like smaller groups too. But then I also am able like to branch out and like feel like I'm, you know, like meeting new people every year, and being able like I guess to, you know, still maintain like old friendships, and maybe even like bring back like really old friendships. I remember you know, like one of my best friends, like when we were deciding like what middle school we wanted to go to, it was like we had like this one group where everybody had chose to go to one school, and then that one friend who I'd known like all my life had gone to the other school. So it was a little weird at first, but I think it honestly, like when middle school had started, it didn't make that much of a difference for me, because we had never, like to this day, we have never had a class together. But it was like we were still able, like, you know, to see each other and like do like extracurriculars like outside of school. So I think tight friend groups are always going to like exist and be something that like rings true to everybody. But it's just a matter of like maintaining them, and you know, but also like being able to branch out. So
I don't know why, but I just thought of a question just now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nothing related to what y'all were saying.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I was thinking about this. If y'all were to try to learn to play any kind of instrument that you don't know how to play, what would it be?
Clarinet.
Clarinet? What makes you say clarinet?
Just a good word.
I don't know. It just sounds-
I'd
like,
say either.
what's it-
Oh, go ahead.
oh, like what's his name from SpongeBob?
Yes.
Squidward.
I'd say a saxophone or a guitar.
Yeah. I have never played any instrument in my entire life. I know how to play Heart and Soul on the piano, and that's about it.
Piano's a good one.
I mean, if I were going to, it'd probably just be like Master the Piano, because like I have like the long fingers for it and all that, and I can reach. So I guess piano, because like people that play piano, dude, they're like skilled. You know, they got like all like the reflexes, the memorization. It's good word over here.
Is that a flute?
That's okay.
Did you have one, Andrew?
A recorder?
No,
No. Like what
Yeah.
instrument?
Oh, I said this. I was gonna say the saxophone. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
saxophone.
there's just something about, like, it's cooler than the trumpet and a tuba or whatever. Like, you know, I don't know what those are called. Like, I don't know. Like
The
way
brass
it's
instruments.
shaped, yeah, the brass instruments, like noise it makes, and there's so many like cool songs that you can.
Careless
I mean,
Whisper.
Huh?
Careless Whisper.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so I had a question.
Okay.
It's more of like high school in general, like not high school, but like still can go in both. But it's like, do you have any regrets like about like the things that you've done in high school? Like, are there anything that you could have changed or you would have like you want to change? Like as you go on.
I say for freshman year, I regret like not doing a lot of things. Like I wish I did way more stuff. Because I don't know, I was just like testing the waters of like high school and freshman year because I did not know what I was getting into. Like if I knew, I probably would have had a better freshman year because I do not remember anything besides like meeting people. Like I don't remember anything significant that I did freshman year.
I think for me, it's similar to what Miggy said, like regretting not, I guess like trying stuff, because that's like the high school is like the time to do that, you know? And it's like, if you don't do it in high school, it's harder, I think, to do it later in life because you're not surrounded by like the same people that like might like, you know, help you learn those things and maybe like do them with you. Regrets. I also, I guess, regret, you know, for people, like this is just some advice, but like, I regret being overly honest about stuff. And like, cause that leads to like hurting people and like, that's like the worst feeling ever. Like you don't want to do that. So if you can be honest, like be honest, but you know, don't be overly honest to the point where it's like, you know, it's like it almost becomes a lie, like, oh, you didn't tell me this like before, or you know, you shouldn't wait around to like, you know, to hurt somebody like bad. You should just be like kind of straight up, and yeah, that's kind of the part of being overly honest.
Yeah. I can't really think of that much else, but when I think of a lot of the regrets I had in high school, a lot of them have to do with female. I don't know if I'm the only one. Or like, I don't know.
I had a question for that.
Yeah. But like, I made a lot of stupid decisions, and if any of like the people I mess with are listening, like a lot of the reasons why I'm not talking to you anymore is my fault. But some of them, but like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I focus way too much on it. Like, kind of like mostly sophomore and like beginning of junior year. Like, kind of settled down now. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's something that most people, right, like in high school, shouldn't have to worry about because like they're obviously not gonna last crazy long. Like, it's not too often you hear like people having like high school sweethearts and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
it's just gonna become irrelevant at some point. Like, you know. So I feel like that's one of my like biggest regrets. And, I just wish I had. I don't know.
yeah, that makes sense.
For me, regret was probably like more interaction with people. Honestly, I feel like I interacted with people, but I didn't interact with like people that much. Like, I feel like if I did, like, I don't know, just more interaction with people. Like, I partially others. I don't think there's maybe.
Yeah. So you had a question about the opposing sex.
All right. So I mean, like in high school, you know, we're guys. When we get to high school, we're like, oh yeah, we're there, we made it. So, what are like for people that are going into high school or like they're currently in high school, like, from your personal experiences with girls, what are some things that people like? What are the least worries that people should have? Like, what relationship advice can you give people? You know,
Maggie, please start.
Okay. I have a lot. Make sure in the relationship, well, like if you are dating someone, make sure that you are both, communicating with each other. Build a sense of trust. It's high school. Don't think too much of it, but like, also like if you are dating someone, you gotta make sure that the goal is to like basically marry, like act like you're gonna marry them. It's like they gotta be the one. They gotta be the main focus. You can't be distracted by all these other females. And if you're single, I would say if you are talking to someone, make sure that the other person does like you back. Also, dude, it's high school, man. Like, just get your heart broken. Like, it's fine to get your heart broken, but like, don't dwell on it too much.
I think we've all been through that a couple times.
Yeah, also there, you may think that this girl is the one for you, but you never know what'll happen. I would say don't overthink things too. That is like the least, or the thing you gotta do, the least. Like, you can't overthink things. Like, if she don't like you, then it's good. Just move on, better yourself, or maybe don't better yourself. Just look on the bright side of things, basically. And if you are talking to one girl, and if you're talking to one guy, stick to that one guy, please. No other people. If you're talking to that person, just talk to them. So, yeah. I think I'll let other people talk.
Alright, so relationship-wise, well, I'm not a very, I thought I was very big on, commitment, but, from experience, I'm not. I'm not very good. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm
but I'm make sure communication is key.
Oh, no.
This kind of honest is okay.
No. But I'm not the biggest commitment person. I'm not saying that I hold around. But I'm not the biggest person on commitment. But for people getting into a relationship, it's more about the two people in the relationship. It's about working together and communicating. Getting to understand each other. Again, you guys are gonna have problems, but the problems is a way for you guys to understand more about each other. And honestly, people are gonna say if you date way too many people in high school, they're gonna call you hoes. I say the more people you date, the more you find your type. Because in everyone, you're gonna see that they're different things that you like in someone. And then at the end of the day, you're gonna probably find that person that had all the qualities that you missed out of each relationship.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's from my perspective.
No, that's good.
I mean, just have fun. If you're single, just get a whore around. That's just
have fun.
But don't be too wild. Because there's some people that don't really respect yourself. Respect yourself, but know how to have fun too.
Right. From someone who has made many mistakes in the past due to relationships, I would just say. This is, I mean, Miggy already mentioned this, but yeah, you should not be talking to multiple people at once. I'm guilty of this, and I'm not, I'm okay with, admitting that. Yeah, big surprise. Just, if this does happen, just don't do it on purpose, because for me, it was kind of I do take blame for it, but it was kind of I didn't know the whole situation between the people, and if I had known, I would have acted better. I still regret it, because it's I didn't want to make anybody feel oh gosh, don't talk to this dude because he is gonna lie and he's gonna talk to other people too at the same time. It's not like that. It's just a mistake, and I think everybody goes through. I guess everybody experiences mistakes that have to do with relationships, and that one was just related to me. So,
if I'm to say anything about having to interact with females or trying to do something with them, I feel the one most important thing, obviously there's other important things, but make sure like you two are clear on like where you guys are at.
Yeah.
Like you know,
That's
obviously honesty is big, but like even if you guys are just like a relationship, or if you guys are like friends with benefits, if you guys are just talking, like make sure that's like known.
That's what you guys agreed upon.
Like because if it's like unclear, there's some like gray area, and like some person tries to like change a boundary, or you'll know it when you're in a situation. But like if that like situation ever comes up, like it's not fun to deal with. And like if there's ever like a point where you feel like you messed up because of it, just know like it's just because the honesty was never really there. And, I've made that mistake like once, and like I feel like it's something I even gotta work hard on like now. But like just make sure like you guys know where you're at, regardless of any situation.
Yeah, that's a good rule.
Very good.
Be patient.
Did anybody have any additional questions? Are we good? All right. Well, that's pretty much all the time that we have. I really appreciate you guys doing this with me. It's something new for me, and hopefully this was good and like new for you guys too. In the future, like this was kind of like a whole like simpy like thing, like a podcast, and like but it was like a deep conversation.
Yeah.
In the future, like if I do more of these, it'll probably be like further away from that area and more like upbeat. I like good spirits rather than like making you like feel like sad and stuff afterwards. Like I'm fine. Like like for other people that might watch this, like shoot, I gotta think about this now. But yeah, thank you guys. And do you guys have anything else to say?
Thank you for having us, sir.
I really wonder if you're gonna make it to the end of this. Like, I'm gonna watch this whole thing.
I'm gonna make people watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, you guys should advertise when I.
I mean, we're giving relationship advices, high school advice. What else? Like,
yeah, it's all part of
anything you can look for if you're a freshman in anything.
All part of high school experience. That's why this is called the high school perspective.
I hope we didn't miss anything.
So thank you guys, and I guess that'll do it.
Use condoms, kids.
Yes.